Hello, everybody, and indeed, let's play What Is This? A new little game I made up. Ready to go? Okay, let's jump right into it. Here's our first item. What is this? What is this thing? By the way, I'm giving this 50 extra credit points if you get it right, so good luck to you. I will tell you, I had one of these. I grew up in a house that had one of these, but only for decorative purposes. My mother was an antique collector. She probably had a real one when she was a kid. That sort of thing. You ready? You know what it is? This is a butter churn, a device used to convert cream into butter consisting of a large barrel and a hand crank mechanism. Moving on, what is this thing? I kind of suspect that you have seen one of these, probably even have one in your house, so I'm only giving this 25 extra credit points. Do I have one of these in my home? No, I don't. But it's because of the diet I do, it's not really of use to me. What is this? Do you know what it is? This is a meat grinder, a manual device used to grind meats into smaller pieces or mince, often attached to the counter with a clamp. Moving on. What is this thing? I think you should get this pretty easy. I'm only giving it 25 extra credit points. I had one of these growing up. I grew up in a household with one of these. I actually might even still have one of these somewhere in a drawer or closet somewhere. You ready? Okay, this is, of course, an egg beater. This is a hand crank device with rotating beaters used to whip eggs and other ingredients. And as I said, I grew up in a house with one of these and I used it all the time. Moving on. What is this? I will be somewhat impressed if you get this. I did not ever live in a home that had one of these. This goes way back. I'm giving this 150 extra credit points. Oh boy. You know what it is? Are you ready? Okay, this is, of course, an ice box. These are non-electric refrigerators that use ice blocks to keep food cool, often made of wood and metal. If you ever watch any of the old, let's see, like Three Stooges and stuff, they had scenes with ice boxes, etc., etc. Moving on. What is this thing? I picked this photo because my mother's utensils growing up had this exact same design. You probably know what this is. I'm only giving it 25 extra credit points. Okay, this is a coffee percolator. Of course, these days it's all K-cups. These were a stovetop coffee brewing device, okay? We had these growing up. As I said, it's all K-cups now. The world is just not the way it used to be, which is why I created this channel. Moving on. What is this thing? This, for many people, I guess it all depends on your age, but certainly younger people won't get this. I'm giving this 100 extra credit points. I would be very impressed if you get this. Of course, this is a bread box, a container used to store bread and keep it fresh, typically made of wood or metal. I suppose these things were around back in the day because there was no plastic, there was no refrigeration, etc., etc. There were no Franken-chemicals inside the food. My bread lasts weeks and weeks these days. What the heck is in it? I don't understand. Moving on, what are these things? Shiny and metallic. I'm giving this 75 extra credit points, and I am probably hiding part of the image right here because it has some packaging that says what it is. You know what it is? These are jelly molds, of course. Decorative molds used to shape gelatin desserts, often intricately designed and made of metal or glass. These in the picture, of course, are metal. Moving on, what is this? Oh boy, I got to use one of these when I was a little kid. I'm giving this 125 extra credit points. I got to use one of these when I was a little kid, and I thought I was in heaven. Just thought I had died and gone to heaven. This, of course, is a hand crank ice cream maker, a device used to make ice cream way back in the day. I got to do this as a little kid, and as I say, I enjoyed the absolute heck out of it. Very nice. Moving on, what is this? This goes for 125 extra credit points. I hope you're keeping score. I want to hear in the comment section how you're doing. This, of course, is a flour sifter. Some of them came with those crank knobs, and some, my mom's had this handle that you squeezed and it sifted the flour. It aerates and removes lumps from flour. Why you need to do this, I don't really know. I'm a single dude, so I don't care how well my flour performs. Moving on. I'll be very impressed if you get this. Very impressed. I'm giving it 250 extra credit points. I would not have known what one of these is. Hard to find a picture of one, actually. This is a nutmeg grater, a small handheld tool with a rough surface used to grate whole nutmeg seeds into fine shavings. I get the idea that our society used nutmeg back in the day a lot more than we do today. It's just a hunch. I don't know if that's true or not. Moving on, what is this? 150 extra credit points for this one. I never had one or saw one growing up, so I kind of didn't even know what these are. This is a soapstone griddle, a flat cooking surface made of soapstone used for baking goods and frying. And yeah, cooking on rocks, sure, I've been in the Scouts. It's a thing. Moving on, what is this thing? Now, I had one of these growing up. It's, for some reason, it makes me very nostalgic, but I have this feeling that many people don't know what this is. I'm giving it 100 extra credit points. This is a corn cob stripper. As I say, I used one when I was a kid. It's a tool to remove kernels from corn on the cob. Loved it. Moving on. This is our final one. I will be so very impressed if you get this. I'm giving it 400 extra credit points. Look all you want. I defy you to understand even what this thing is. What is it? I mean, I'm not familiar with what this thing is, but it exists. It was a thing. Honestly, I don't know how it worked. Do you want to know what it is? Okay. A marmalade cutter. Marmalade cutter. A specialized device used to slice citrus peel into thin strips for marmalade making. This is another one of those deals. I figure we probably don't do a whole lot of marmalade anymore, not as much as we used to. Too bad. Okay, thank you for playing What Is This? I hope you enjoyed it. As I said, let me know what your score is down below. Take care.